Britain is going through a period of political tension, public frustration, and widespread debate about the direction of national leadership. Discussions around approval ratings, government decisions, and public perception have become central to political conversation. Welcome back to UK Ago. Much of the current debate began when a television presenter sharply criticized the Prime Minister during a broadcast, comparing his public standing to one of the lowest approval ratings seen in years. What elevated the moment was not just the comparison itself, but the fact that recent polling data appeared to show similar public dissatisfaction, prompting renewed scrutiny of political leadership and decision-making. To understand why the comment gained so much attention, it is important to step back and consider the broader context. The UK is dealing with several significant challenges: an ongoing economic strain, NHS waiting lists that continue to grow, and households facing rising costs of living. Many families are navigating difficult choices about heating, food, and daily expenses. Against this backdrop, a video of the Prime Minister discussing the emotional impact of watching a documentary with his son drew considerable public reaction. Critics questioned the relevance of such comments at a time when voters were focused on practical concerns. This contrast between public expectations and political messaging became a focal point for discussion. Some commentators argued that leaders should demonstrate awareness of the pressures affecting ordinary people. Others noted that politicians often use personal stories to appear relatable. The debate underscored the challenge political figures face when balancing personal expression with the expectations of public office. During the broadcast that sparked the current discussion, the presenter referenced a clip circulating online in which the Prime Minister stumbled during a public event. The comparison to international political figures known for similar incidents was framed as commentary on public perceptions rather than a technical judgment of capability. In modern politics, visual moments, whether fair or not, often evolve into symbols that shape narratives far beyond the event itself. A single physical stumble can become material for online commentary, memes, and political criticism, influencing how voters interpret a leader's confidence or composure. The broadcast then turned to a more general analysis of public opinion. The presenter referenced government travel records, highlighting that the Prime Minister had taken numerous overseas trips within a short period. The data sparked debate about whether such travel reflects diplomatic engagement or signals a tendency to be away from domestic political pressures. Supporters argue that international outreach is an essential part of governing. Critics question the timing and visibility of such commitments. Attention then shifted to the Chancellor, whose approval ratings have also been under public examination. Polling indicated low confidence in the government's economic management, with one survey recording 0% of respondents expressing satisfaction. While such figures can reflect temporary frustration rather than long-term assessments, they nonetheless indicate a striking level of public concern. Economic pressures, rising prices, and the overall cost of living have contributed to a tense national mood, making fiscal decisions especially scrutinized. The broadcast continued by addressing the Mayor of London's recent international trip. Freedom of Information data showed expenses covering flights, accommodation, and related travel costs. While the Mayor's office described the visit as part of international promotional efforts for the city, others questioned the necessity and timing of such expenditures, particularly during a period of financial difficulty for many households. London is globally recognized, and critics argued that the cost might outweigh the benefits during periods of domestic pressure. What made the presenter's segment resonate widely was not only the criticism, but the way it captured general public sentiment. Many voters feel that political leaders operate in a sphere separate from everyday life, shaped by travel, media appearances, and carefully crafted public statements. Meanwhile, citizens face rising expenses, long NHS waits, and economic uncertainty. The perception of a gap between political discussions and lived experiences contributes to public frustration. The viral nature of the broadcast illustrates how modern political commentary spreads. Short, memorable lines, regardless of whether one agrees with them, can influence public debate quickly. They often summarize complex issues into digestible phrases that circulate across social media. In this case, the strong language used by the presenter reflected broader concerns about leadership effectiveness, communication, and the alignment of political priorities with public needs. Beyond the intensity of the segment, the underlying themes highlight important issues: public trust, accountability, and political communication. Approval ratings serve as indicators of how connected leaders are to the public they represent. When those ratings decline sharply, it suggests that voters feel unheard or that their concerns are not being adequately addressed. Economic dissatisfaction, particularly during times of financial strain, amplifies this effect. The situation raises several questions about the relationship between politicians and the public. How should leaders communicate during difficult periods? What responsibilities do they have to balance personal expression with addressing urgent issues? And at what point does public perception become as significant as policy decisions themselves? Ultimately, the public response to the broadcast reflects a broader sense of uncertainty. The country is dealing with real challenges: economic, social, and institutional. Voters want to see clear plans, practical solutions, and acknowledgement of the difficulties they face. Political narratives that seem disconnected from daily reality risk deepening dissatisfaction. The presenter segment, regardless of its tone, highlighted this disconnect in a way that resonated with many people. It underscored the need for political communication that is grounded, focused, and responsive to current national concerns. Whether one agrees with the commentary or not, the issues it raised, public trust, leadership perception, and a need for effective governance, remain central to the ongoing political conversation in Britain.